not that easy. But later on, his evaluator will explain about what he has done good, what he has done well, and what he has improved. Okay, so right now, I'm going to introduce our next speaker. Don't move yet. I have many things to say about him. Briefly, he's from Ghanaian government, and he's president of Ghana Pool Associations and Ghana Koika Alumni Association, founder of Peach and Crew magazine, Africa Entrepreneurship Community, and African Society Enterprise Move. He's also held training seminars and workshops on mentors, mentee relationship, communications, team building, leaderships, U.S. Embassy in Ghana, European Union office in Ghana. So basically what I want to say is he's a distinguished Toastmaster speaker. He's a hell of really good speakers. I saw his speech many times. In fact, we can learn a lot of things from him. So please welcome tonight's speaker, Papa. He's going to speak about how I use Toastmasters as a tool to communicate and effect change. Please welcome Papa.
Thank you very much. What does Africa mean to me? Africa is home. Africa is a promise that has still yet not been realized. And when you think of Africa, you think of major return on investment. Now, for those of us in Africa, we like to refer to it as the place where civilization started. Now, I'd like to get into this first of all by finding out, okay, why did you join Toastmasters?
To meet people.
Beautiful. What about you?
To meet, to learn public speech.
To learn public speaking. Okay, what about you?
To become a finely crafted speaker.
Awesome. So, there were two things in my life at the point where I discovered Toastmasters on Google. One, I was wondering, when I get old, too old to be running around consulting and working for the government, and I want to make money, how can I do that? And I found out, wow, people who go into public speaking make pretty good money. They're pretty good. So I said, wow, let me find out about that. Second thing, I was at a point in my life in Korea that I was bored as heck because I wasn't making enough friends and I wasn't meeting enough ladies. So I wanted a place where I could meet some pretty nice ladies. And Toastmasters seemed to be the solution to both of them, so I joined. That was the original reason why I joined Toastmasters. However, when I got into the program, I realized after analyzing the manual that wow, the way it was broken down and the way it sets you up to get your CC, this was a very powerful tool. So I decided all of a sudden that instead of my initial agenda, maybe I should focus on some more important things, like building myself to become a competent communicator so that when I go back home, I can use this as a tool to train, educate, help, and effect change. Then, just when I was working hard to get my CC, somebody put up a challenge to me, say, hey, why stop there? Why do you want to just finish your CC? Who knows when you'll be able to finish your other? So why don't you go ahead and finish all your 40 speeches before you leave? Now, I had 4 months to leave Korea for Ghana, so that's the reason why I had to finish my speeches so quickly. So I was in the middle of about 8 clubs. I was giving speeches almost every day. And I finished 10 speeches every month for 4 months. And that's how I became my ACG. Yes, I used to travel all the way to Busan and different towns just to go give speeches. But that's another story for another day. Now, through my Toastmasters journey, I realized one thing. Because I was very dedicated to it. And I was taking rules and I was taking it very seriously. And with that passion, what I realized is that I was beginning to transform. And the transformation was actually very interesting. Now, how many of you have actually been at a point in your life where you're so unfit that even when you run or when you walk just a little bit, you're so tired? And then you start a workout program and all of a sudden you're doing amazing things and you ask yourself, where is this power coming from? That's how I started feeling with Toastmasters. It was like I talked to people. I could talk to anybody, be it a lady, be it a job, be it trying to sell something. And I talked to the person 2-3 minutes and they're already nodding their head like, okay. It was like a superpower. I was like, wow, this is amazing. And if you've heard this statement before, to him who much is given, much is required, I started feeling a sense of, I needed to do more. I needed to do more. So when I went back, I started encouraging people to come to Toastmasters so they could learn to communicate better. I started getting more into leadership roles. And then I started to do training. So that's when I got into the whole training bit, and we started doing workshops at places like USA and ETC, but it still wasn't enough. Now, anybody who knows anything about Africa, or has been reading current information about Africa, will hear that most Africans think that the reason why Africa is today not a first world continent, or why Africa has issues, is not because we're not rich or we're poor. As a matter of fact, I believe Africa is the richest continent when it comes to resources. And that is the reason why everybody is coming there. Everybody wants a piece of our riches. So what is the problem? Some believe there's a disconnect, some believe it's an education problem. There are others too who firmly believe that it's a leadership problem. Whatever the case is, that problem needs to be solved and needs to be solved now. Because it's time for Africa to take back its place. And so my firm belief is, how do I solve this issue if it's a leadership problem or it's an education problem? And that was to use Toastmasters as a tool to get people to become more discerning. To use Toastmasters as a tool to get leaders to communicate better so that they could get people to move. Instead of just talking, people listen and go back to doing the same things they do. To use Toastmasters as a tool to build leadership all over Ghana and through Ghana to Africa so that the continent as a whole will be fully transformed. How did I start going about that? I started first by introducing Toastmasters to a number of new clubs. Currently, I've set up about 5 extra clubs, added to the one that was already there when it was there. And what I do is I basically talk about Toastmasters everywhere that I go. So if I meet somebody on the street, hey, how you doing? What do you do? I'm a Toastmaster, I'm a public speaker. And Toastmasters does X, Y, Z for you. It will help you with your job. It will help you with your leadership. It will help you grow as a person. And I sell it everywhere I go. I have people coming in every day. Every meeting I go, I make sure I have at least 1, 2, 3 people in there. Because I realize its place. It is the solution to the problem that has plagued us for so long. Why am I telling you this? Or why should you even care about what I'm doing with Toastmasters in Africa? What I'm trying to explain is, if I could do so much with Toastmasters, so can you. You said last week, this club only had 10 people, and you were even telling Greg that we did really well, we had 10 people. Well, guess what? You've had a 40% growth, because today you have 14 people. The next time that I come back to this club, I want to see it with 30, 40 people. And all it takes is for you to convince the next person you see on the street that this is what I am getting from Toastmasters. This is what it's done for me, and this is what it will do for you. So that the next time you find more people coming in, not just because they can meet friends, not just because they can meet girls, like in my case, but because they realize that it will transform their lives. I don't remember the last time I had any type of interview that I failed. Because when I start speaking, it sounds like people feel like, wow, whatever he's saying is sincere. And it all comes from Toastmasters. Ladies and gentlemen, I leave the rest to you. Thank you.